Hi GW, welcome back to another episode of Gweek from home. I'm Matthew Cox. Starting out with what's on everyone's mind. The election is this Tuesday, November 3rd. With over 75 million ballots cast so far, pre-election day turnout has been unprecedented in many states. The total number of ballots cast so far is equivalent to 55% of the total voter turnout of the 2016 election. The confirmation of now Supreme Court Justice Amy Coney Barrett also took place this week, which many think could have a big impact just days before the election. The past month has seen a rapid increase in COVID-19 cases across the United States. Saturday, October 24th, witnessed the second highest day of cases in the U.S., with over 80,000 cases. Many cities, states, and counties have drawn back on their reopening measures amid the new cases. Public health officials have urged the public to continue wearing masks and following social distancing protocols. Pope Francis has named Wilton Gregory, the current Archbishop of Washington, D.C., as one of the newest cardinals of the Catholic Church. Father Gregory is the first African-American cardinal in the Church's history, marking a period of change after a year of civil and political unrest. Plenty of students are changing the way they do their jobs. Reporter David Vargas interviewed Max Davidsons about his magic career, coronavirus, and virtual shows.
Happy Halloween. This week, we interviewed GW student Max Davidsons on his magic career and how it changed during COVID. How have you been able to transition your show from in-person to virtual? Has it been a challenge? Has it just run smoothly? Can you kind of talk about your experience with that?
Overall, the transition from in-person to virtual has honestly been very fun. And the reason is because I got lucky for several reasons. I'm obviously not a professional magician, and so I did not have that many bookings when COVID hit. So there were like probably 3 or 4 shows that I didn't get to do. But a lot of professional magicians lost like 50, 60, maybe more gigs, which is really tough for them. So I was lucky that I didn't have to make up anything very quickly. So I didn't do my first virtual performance till the end of May. And then after that, I don't think I did my next one until July. So it just kind of slowly happened where I realized like, oh, okay, I could do this. And it was more because I'd just been fiddling with this one trick that I performed for, it must have been like my mom or my cousin, because I wasn't seeing anyone at that point. And I was like, oh, you know what? This would actually work virtually, and it would be cooler virtually because it would happen in their hands, not mine. And then I was like, just kind of like expanded from there. And I think it's honestly just a creative challenge, but in a really cool way. Like you can do stuff virtually that you can't do in person, right? Like during my show, have people leave the screen and go grab personal objects or use their own books, their own pieces of paper, their own cards. I'm working on a trick right now that uses someone's dog. It's like, you can't do that in a show because you can't get someone's dog in a theater, right? But it's like, why not capitalize on what we can do, which is really cool. Like, I think I hope at least, anyone would be really excited to show off their dog during a show.
That's awesome. So now, is there a certain audience or a certain clientele that you kind of target your show for? Or is it kind of anyone will understand the magic you're doing?
I love doing shows for families and friends because everyone is dispersed throughout the country. No one's seen each other. So being able to do shows for families is so gratifying because they're just happy to be there. They're happy to see the magic and they're happy to see each other. But really, it's like, I love seeing everybody. I love keeping that grid on Zoom, like 16 people or less, and being able to see every single person's face, calling everyone by name. Everyone gets to participate. Everyone is seen and heard, but everyone can appreciate it. Like, I've done shows for 500 people and I've done shows for 5.
If you could give advice to any beginner magician, what would you give them?
I would say figure out what you love about magic besides just the tricks, because we all fall in love with magic because we see a trick. It's hard to get into magic without seeing a magic trick. And so then we think that is the crux of what it is. But in reality, magic works when you can make it about the person who's watching, not about you.
After the interview, Max showed us a trick from his show.
Originally, whole trick go, I thought it was 2 of hearts. It was a 3 of hearts. The question is, if you could find one of these 2 cards, hopefully it'd be impressive. So there should be 1 card on top of the 4 of spades.
It's this one.
Yeah, flip it over.
Show you as well?
Yeah, sure.
You're kidding.
There we go.
You're kidding.
That's a
Even
three.
when I messed
The
that
card
up
we
too.
originally thought, the 2 of hearts. Eva, you found it. David, you made the 4 of spades disappear and then made the 2 of hearts appear. So you guys did a pretty great job.
Thank you so much, Max, for speaking with us today. For GWTV, I'm David Vargas.
Mandatory evacuations have resulted in over 70,000 California residents fleeing Orange County this week. The evacuations come as the Silverado and Blue Ridge fires rapidly spread across the region. California has witnessed one of its worst fire seasons in history, with 4.1 million acres scorched and over 10,000 buildings destroyed. Thank you so much for joining us on this week's episode of Gweek. Happy Halloween, stay safe, and not too stressed this election day. Be sure to check us out on gw-tv.com and on Instagram @GweekNews.